everybody. I'm Zeus Kerravala from ZK Research, and I'm back for day 10 of the 12 days of Cloudmas. And I'm delighted to be joined by Charanya Kannan, the Chief Product Officer for Talkdesk. She's also known as CK, and so we'll do a CK ZK video here. And CK, why don't you say hi to everybody? And I understand you're in Hawaii right now, right?
I am. Hey, everyone, I'm CK. People ask for a white Christmas, but this time I asked for a blue Christmas. So I got this.
Yeah, that's interesting because I interviewed Snorre Jespu a couple of days ago from Cisco, and he was in Oslo, and he was the closest person to the North Pole. You might be the furthest person from the North Pole.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
You know, we can talk a lot about 2020, but one of the best things about 2020 is you can work from anywhere. So when you can work from anywhere, why not work from Hawaii, right? So decided
That's a good point.
Spend a few months here, and it's been fantastic so far.
Yeah, so we're on, as I mentioned, we're on day 10. And do you remember what day 10 is from the song, the 12 Days of Christmas?
No, I don't.
Yeah, it was 10, the 10, I think it was Lords of Leaping that day. So we're on Lords of Leaping. There's no more of them around. We just have CKs with us, which is fine. So tell us a little bit about Talkdesk. I know you guys are a cloud contact center vendor. You were in the Gartner Magic Quadrant in the Leaders Quadrant. Congratulations. Just give us a little bit of a background on Talkdesk.
Great. Yeah. Talkdesk is a cloud contact center provider. We were one of the first contact centers that were born in the cloud. In the last about 10 years, we've really gone from like few customers to over 1,800 customers today. And especially in the last few years, we've just rapidly innovated. And because of the innovation, we'll talk about 2020 today. We've really innovated in the last few years to focus on customers that are looking to move to the cloud and digitize their contact center. So really excited about it. It's been a very thrilling past few years.
And I understand the born in the cloud is one of the reasons why you guys are in that leader quadrant, because a lot of your competitors call themselves cloud, but they're really just a lift and shift. They took a legacy platform and they stuck it up in the sky. And so I guess that's cloud-ish, but not really cloud native, correct?
Right. Yeah. I think it's as a product leader, I'm Chief Product Officer at Talkdesk. As a product leader, it's fantastic when you don't have a baggage, right? So because we're born in this generation, cloud native, we didn't have to kind of move from on-premise, lift and shift, maintaining a legacy platform, working on new platforms. So I think that really helped us, and it kind of gave Talkdesk an unfair advantage to move faster, right? So yeah, I think born in the cloud has been one of our key differentiators in the market today.
Yeah, well, 2020 was certainly, shall we say, a unique year. Yep. It was difficult, it was challenging, and it did create this acceleration to the cloud. I think, people sending agents home and things like that certainly did that. And how did Talkdesk respond to this, both within your own company, but also within your customer base?
Yeah, so I loved what you used there. People use unique year, interesting year, right? It's just like we're running out of terms to use for 2020. But we often hear people say, what doesn't kill you make you stronger? And I think 2020, that pretty much sums it up for 2020, right? It's in your most difficult situations when people realize what you're really capable of. And it was really interesting in the market. A lot of the companies had a multi-year journey to move employees remotely, right? To have distributed workforce. A lot of contact centers had multi-year journey to move to the cloud. But this year, all of that changed, and they had to do all of these overnight. So I think from a customer perspective, they really realized what's possible and what they're capable of. And 2020, I think in some ways helped them do that, which was really interesting. And one of my favorite quotes, a company that moved to the cloud with Talkdesk said, this year, we realized that we were hiding behind our own abilities, right? Which is so true, because this was possible, but we still thought this was going to take a lot longer than it would actually have. So that was very interesting this year. From Talkdesk, one of our core values is move fast. So when this happened, we moved fast and launched a business continuity offer pretty much even a week before business continuity was trending on Google. So we launched the business continuity offer, work with many customers to move them to the cloud, work with many companies to really move all of their agents remote overnight, and most importantly, help them self-service, right? They don't have to wait in queue to change their IVR settings and things like that. because the application is just really self-service. It helped them move faster, right? So that was great. So this was from a customer perspective. And we also launched several new products this year. Two of the products, which was really interesting, which was very timely. One was workforce engagement. We had a customer advisory board a few weeks ago, and top of mind for every company is employee engagement this year. So I think workforce engagement was just launched at the right time. And we also launched a security product called Guardian, which exactly was built for how do you make sure that you have a distributed workforce and still ensure your data is secure. So those are some of the things that helped our customers. Great feedback so far. And we had to do the same thing internally for employees. So for Talkdesk, we have our teams in US, in UK, in Portugal, and many other countries. And we had to make all of them work remotely overnight and make them productive as well. And it was not easy, right? Thanks to cloud technology, and we use our own products as well. So we made it happen. But I think moving them remote and keeping them safe and having the productivity was something we had to go through for our own teams as well, in addition to helping our customers.
Yeah, and after meeting your CEO, Tiago Paiva, a couple of times, I understand the move fast. He talks fast, he walks fast, he drives fast. I don't think there's anything the guy does slow. So I'm not surprised you guys move fast. I know, you're the chief product officer, and you guys had quite an ambitious effort this year, right? To release 20 new innovations the first 20 weeks of 2020. And this wasn't, and I want to be clear, this wasn't 20 like little feature updates, right?
Right.
This was 20 significant innovations. And so, as chief product officer, what was that like, and what fueled that, and how, if you had to give yourself a letter grade, what letter grade would you give yourself?
It was fantastic. However, of course, I do have dark circles. Probably my team does as well. It was not something easy that you would take, right? We knew this was going to be tough. When we embarked on the 2020 products in 20 weeks journey, there were a lot of skeptics, right? Can we do this? Like, is it possible? So there were definitely a lot of skeptics. But I think I'm excited to share that we proved them wrong. We turned skeptics to fans. We did launch all the 20 products. And the reason why we did that, right, it was not because it was 2020, but it was because we saw that the market was fragmented. When we talked to companies just for running their cloud contact center, they used anything from 5 to about 20 products, right, across many vendors. And when you use 20 vendors, then it's your integration, your maintenance, your it's finger pointing. So all of that together, we realized that the market is fragmented. Some of them are cloud, some of them are on-premise. And as a company, we decided to move everything under one platform, one experience, easy to install, easy to maintain. And that's why we launched 2020. So that's why all of these are new products. And we built all of them within one platform. So it's just easy for the customers. And the best thing about it is when you hear from customers. So we had, as I said, we had the advisory board from customers a few weeks ago. And I think many of them use many of these products, and we got some really good feedback. So it's always great to hear feedback from customers. So this was really good feedback from customers as well. But 2020, definitely people were skeptical, and I'm super excited that we made it happen.
Well, that's right. And now I'll go back to the cloud native design of Talkdesk. If you hadn't been cloud native, I don't know if you could have done that. And so perhaps if they come from other countries, I could see why the skepticism. Now, in addition to 2020, what were some of the other highlights for the year for you? I know I was a judge, one of the UC Today judges, and you won one of the awards. So congratulations on that. But were there other things that stood out this year for Talkdesk?
Yeah, UC Today, of course, we had the Cloud Contact Center Platform of the Year. It was great also to get recognition from Gartner and Forrester. For Gartner, we were the leader in Magic Quadrant, and for Forrester, we were the leader in Wave. So that's always fantastic. In addition to all of these, once again, it's always great when you hear from customers, and our ratings on G2 Crowd and Gartner Peer Insights and many other forums have continued to drastically improve as well, which is fantastic to hear both from analysts on one side and from customers on the other side. And I have to say, thanks to you, I also got the CX Leader of the Year award. I did not see that coming, but it did make my day. So thanks to you and the entire panel for giving me the award as well.
Yeah, well, there was a lot of judges involved in that. It wasn't just me, and everyone was more than delighted to give it to you. So Now you had mentioned the Guardian product, and I really like that product actually. Uh, there's been a significant shift of moving agents to home, and this is something the industry never saw before, right? We just didn't put agents at home, but that created a number of new security threats. And I did read somewhere that about 3/4 of companies that are moving agents to home are going to keep some at home. So can you tell us what are some of those kind of unique security threats that your traditional security tools aren't going to catch? And then how does Guardian help address those things?
Yeah. Guardian was a pleasant surprise for us because it was a right time, right place product. We started working on that before the pandemic happened. Assuming that people will work distributed environment and its security is always important, right? You never realize it's important until you have a security breach. So it can never be more important. But I think because of the pandemic and because of all agents working remotely, the adoption of the product and the interest from the market just grew drastically overnight. So what the product does is, so within contact centers, historically, people have paid a lot of attention to security and fraud from an external customer perspective. So that's why you have products like voice biometric, fraud detection, more from what are some of the external threats from, external providers or customers to my contact centers. But not many companies have really thought about what is the security threat and fraud detection internally, right? Because all of a sudden, all the data that you had within one contact center, call center, one room has gone to multiple different locations, sometimes to Hawaii, sometimes to Oslo, sometimes to like anywhere, right? So your data is not in one location, it's just all over the world today. And although your agents may be amazing, you may leave the laptop open, someone else may use it, right? The possibility of hack is just a lot more today than ever before. What Guardian does is it uses AI-based pattern recognition and anomaly detection. And based on that, if there's anything unusual happens, it immediately in real time, which is really important. It doesn't have to be a report like a week later when everything has happened, right? It has to be real time. So it identifies pattern, identifies anomalies, and provides a real time notification to your IT and admins to act on it. And this could be, someone logging in from a different laptop, someone logging in from a different location, someone talking for way too long, right? Logging in at a different time zone. So pretty much anything that's unusual, it identifies it. It immediately lets your manager know so they can act on it just right away. And it's really interesting because some of our customers, Fortune 500 customers, used it and they said, "We love this, but we think this is going to be the game changer for pretty much all of the companies in contact center world." So it was really great to hear that as well.
Yeah, clearly this whole security dynamics changed with work from home, and I think companies
Right.
that's not just inside and outside the contact center. People have to rethink that. So it's good you're helping your customers with that.
Yeah.
Now we are towards the tail end of 2020. We're nearing the end of December, and one thing I like to do is ask thought leaders like yourself to come up with a prediction. So what can we expect in 2021 in the contact center industry?
There's a lot that I can say, especially from a technology perspective. There are always, like conversational AI. There's many things that I can talk about, but I think ultimately it comes down to digital transformation. Many companies, large companies, talk about it. It is real, and it's just, it's a lot more real and faster this year, and it's going to be for the next few years. But one thing we do strongly believe in is, when you talk about digital transformation, it's a big project, right? It's a big initiative for every company. But we do think CX is the first step to DX, right? Customer experience, digitizing customer experience is the first step to your digital transformation journey. And of course, because there's a lot more things that you can do, but really starting with how do you digitize your contact center? How do you digitize anything that your customer interacts with? So when your customer looks at your brand, it's modern, it's digital, right? So which is the first perception that you provide to your end customer. So I think digital transformation is real, and of course, it's not a brand new trend, but the acceleration of digital transformation is, and putting CX as the first step of DX. And I think that's probably going to be one of the key trends for the next few years.
Yeah, in some cases we can only interact with people digitally, right? For some companies. So Yeah. So thank you for your time, CK. I know you're in Hawaii. I'm sure you want to go surfing or do something fun. I'm in Toronto, so I'm going to go out in the cold, I guess. So enjoy the warmth there. And thank you very much for being part of this series and being part of Day 10. So on behalf of CK from Talkdesk, I'm Zeus Kerravala from ZK Research. Thank you everybody for their time.
Thanks, Zeus. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas.